So let me take you to a tactical or a strategic analysis of what is happening.
Correct.
Would you say that the escalation we see in killings and the abduction is a sign of new threats or failures of existing systems?
Okay, now, first and foremost, over the years, we have had governance failures. And so leading to...
And it's across levels.
Across levels.
Federal, state, and
local government.
And then sometimes we don't have any.
Any at all. In fact, my experience, especially from the Northeast, especially in Borno State, gave me an indication to this. And of course, when I got also exposed to the issues in the Northwest, it was quite mind-blowing for me, wherein some local governments have no representation of governance. So sometimes you see that all this local government is just by name. And so you don't have local government officials at that level to mitigate crises.
So no water, no road,
completely
nothing that makes any human being function.
Completely absent. And so, meaning that over a long period of time, we have neglected, we are actually perhaps taking the people for granted. And I think that is something that everybody in Nigeria must understand and come to grips with. Not to apportion blame, not to point fingers, because pointing fingers will certainly not solve a problem. But then for you to know the problem, because a problem that you do not know is a problem you can never solve. So if you have that at the back of your mind, the next question to ask is, what then do we do? And then getting to know what you would do is to now begin to talk about what resources that are necessary to be able to do that. So for me, it's failure of governance over a long period. Now, because even what we also term as religious crises, what we also term as tribal and ethnic crises, is also a result of governance failures. So it's the aggregate of all this that has given rise to it. And then, of course, with the economic crisis, economic situation that we find ourselves currently, has also made it such that people now look for different avenues to eke out a living, and some have taken up the criminal enterprise as a means of meeting that need. So a mix of factors, if you like, has given rise to this.
So you don't think that we have emerging or new threats? This is an existential failure of systems in terms of political governance in the country.
Certainly,
that is what we are seeing.
Certainly it is. But then you must also know there is conflict transformation. Threats do transform, because, just as you have in the newer technologies, this same way that even social thoughts, if you like, social interactions transform, and then what manifests is what you now begin to see. But the underlying issue is the fact that it's governance failures over a period, because you can't use 1960 tools to address, the 21st century tools.